Oh my God! Look, we're alive.
No means no.
It's gonna be one of them mornings. This is one of those shows where I've got a half a topic and a few points, but other than that, it's gonna be another one like last week. Limited monetization.
Well, you got some monetization though, didn't you?
I don't know.
When they say limited, it might as well be zero.
I don't know. You may go check see what that show made last week. So the
guessing
life of a famous influencer. Y'all want to know how much money that
$2
live show paid last week? What's your guess?
$2.
$2. All right, put your guesses in the comments. Damn, I forgot even how to find it.
It's been a while. No, it didn't make that much, Genflix. $8.22. We got $4. We got 50 cents. We got $3.20.
What was the name of the show last week? Everything is broken. No, that's today.
I don't know.
What's today? Reseller Report, Bill of Rights. There it is.
That was what it was.
The Bill of Rights.
350.
All right, so what are they?
Jarvis says 350.
350.
I had 2. Yeah.
Dave Jarvis, you're extremely close. $3.43. Yes.
Yeah, it outperformed what I thought it would.
$3.43.
I had somebody ask me one time how much I make from the morning show.
$3.43. That's incredible. So what did
I've been on a different shows since 2012. You know, there was the Late Show with Richter, and that was a Bigfoot show. Then I did the 40 and Slip for a lot of years, and then I came on this show. You know how much money I've made? That's how much I've been paid. $0.
$1 million. Let's see. The one before that was $18. But wasn't there a super chat in that one?
There must have been.
There must have been. There's no way.
Live shows for anybody don't make the money that regular YouTube videos will make on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's just that way, and they built it in that way, I think, on purpose, because you can get super chats and super stickers and stuff like that.
Jennifer, what the hell are you doing up so early? What the hell? Is there anybody new in the chat? All the usual suspects.
I think baseball's clock is off. It's fast by a couple of minutes or something.
Because imagine this. The show StreamYard has a little clock up there that says, oh, it's time to go live. God forbid they use the internet to set their clock by the world time. And, and evidently we didn't know they needed to consult with baseball to coordinate times to make sure that, his time and wherever the hell he is overrides their time. Because he puts his little comment on it, and you look at it and go, we both looked at it, we're like, it's like 7:59. What the hell?
Yeah, we still had a minute.
Yeah. Fart sack, what's up? Oh, y'all see this? Y'all can't see that, can you?
No, didn't see it.
Yeah, now you can.
See it now. We get those little, I don't know if they're drain flies, but they got giant little, they're tiny, but they got giant wings on them. And she got this, I forget what it starts with a Z, but it plugs into an outlet, and it has a blue light, and it traps all of them. It does a pretty damn good job, but there's still a few in here.
Jody bought one of those. I think she bought an Amazon brand, and she hates it. So,
the one she buys, she got to buy refills every week or two, but they work pretty good.
Lag made 37,000 on YouTube last year. Nice, Lag. Good job.
There are people who do. No,
Oh yeah,
that's chump change for some people, but
yeah. A very interesting video yesterday. Josh Galt talked about YouTubers and can they talking a little bit about can you ruin a market and can you temporarily. I don't know that you can necessarily ruin one, but you can temporarily. Man, YouTube just said I'm not late. YouTube is late, telling me that I'm live on my channel. That that it's putting out some information that's bad and detrimental, and I do agree with it to some extent. That's why I don't make those kind of videos especially for. So here's to prove my point about how those videos can be negative. How many people in the chat still have millennial Monopoly games? Steve has one. It has some.
I don't have it in here. I have one that's signed by the author over there, but and
There
I
was
think
a
I have
point
the second one now.
I would find those for like $3 or $4 on clearance and wouldn't buy.
Yeah, I ended up sending them into Amazon for a loss, just to get rid of them. What else am I going to do with them? It would have. I might have broke even on them at the end, but yeah, I don't think you ruined it. It just happened to be you got in real early on that one.
Right. And
you didn't help it. You didn't help it none.
Yeah.
By
But there are some categories where people. His point was that newer people, there's more efficient ways to find to get information than spending all this time watching these YouTubers that make videos about about hunting at yard sales and that kind of stuff. Entertainment, sure. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there that they might be YouTubers first, but they do it's about the reselling genre and they do some reselling with it. Great personalities out there. They will tell you they're YouTubers first. There's nothing wrong with that. But I can tell you right now, getting your ass out of the chair, going to yard sales and scanning and looking up items is way more effective use of your time. Way more effective. You watch a 20, 30-minute video and you see like 2 or 3 things. You take 5 minutes at a yard sale, you can look up 20 items. It's
yeah, I promise you'll find things you didn't know about.
You want to learn RA, you want to go watch somebody. The big thing on TikTok now is they go TikTok live, and there's a couple of them that wander through like a TJ Maxx or some of those type of stores, looking to see what they can find. And they're leading these innocent people who are just looking for information for them to slaughter, because that's one of the worst places. TJ, you don't have TJ Maxx and those places. You don't have continuity of possession on your inventory. The receipts suck. They don't work for anything. You're going to find counterfeits over there, because Nike is a great example. If I've got a pair of counterfeit Nikes and I want to cash those in, do I take those back to the Nike store, or do they go to TJ Maxx where their employee doesn't know shit about a pair of Nikes? Right. So Mr. Sadie, 30 to 40,000 per month on YouTube. It used to be. There's been some ad apocalypses, and there's been a silent one here last few. If y'all have missed the news here lately, YouTube, who in all of their wonderful glory and communistic practices of trying to control your speech and control what you say, got caught by several people going, what they tell you about their ads, and when they say you ads and their reach and what they do with them, they don't follow their own policies. And that was probably 6 weeks ago they got caught in that, and it quickly got quieted down, because I guess when your parent company, old Alphabet, owns the internet and controls what you see and what you don't see, it gets. Y'all ever think about that? How amazing that is, that a huge story like YouTube, the second largest search engine on the planet, gets caught in not doing what they said to ads, and could cost them billions of dollars. That story disappeared in like 30 seconds. You think that was an accident?
How did a search engine become, the owner of the internet? Isn't that weird? That's genius if you think about it. I mean, oh, it's just an innocent search engine, and then behind the scenes they did all this other stuff, and now we owe our lives to them. Pretty much.
RG,
Bow down to the great Google.
I just wore the shirt for you, RG. Yeah. Yeah, but it's, and you don't, Beard. I'm just here to hear reselling and get questions answered and asked. I don't believe what you say. Watch the push that's going to come on, and if we don't stand up as a free people and tell these people, the dementia-ridden patient listened in his ear and heard him tell the world to tell them that he's coming up with a shot for everybody. This time it's going to be for everybody. I got a message to the president of the United States about him and his little for everybody. Dude, you can lick the rim of my asshole. You can kiss brown eye just like that. It ain't happening.
No. Buddy. Now the show won't have even limited monetization.
It ain't happening. It just ain't. And until, put the diaper on your face if you want to. I barely did it last time. I ain't doing it this time. Yeah, so. Oh, Dustin Floyd, I know they're trying to come again. And that actually helped us. That actually helped resellers out. But I'm of the opinion, and maybe I'm crazy. I don't want the extra sales at the expense of the rest of the country. I don't want the of my fellow man being damaged and what they're going to. What is it, folks? Well, if you've got kids and you're listening, is it not bad enough what they've done to your children? They have come after your children. They are brainwashing them through education. Now look at the damage of elementary and these kids because of being at home and not being in school. We were finally starting to turn the curve on the mathematics because we're one of the dumbest countries in the world. And that curve was coming back up, and it went right back straight down again, folks. Good morning, old lady.
I know you're not talking to me.
But it's getting to the point where it's crazy. But anyway, it seems like eBay's a little better now. Am I the only one that everything is? Josh was complaining about it yesterday. If y'all know Josh Galt, he does a show Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's a live show. It is strange how eBay I will have sales for like 30 minutes or an hour, and that'll be it for the rest of the day. And one of the programmers who was mentioned in his comments was trying to tell him, well, it's just the way that it reports back, and they probably didn't all happen in that amount of time. We have always thought, and we as in the community that sells on eBay has always thought that they control access, control views, and how they presented your information. And it is, especially to okay, so if you're a niche seller and stuff, that kind of stuff happens maybe. But if you're an everything seller like I am, I'll sell. Y'all know I got a problem, right?
Yeah, you do.
So I went to an estate sale this weekend, Friday, and then I went back Sunday at half price day. I could not resist, Tom. I bought these in your honor. I could not resist myself. I had to buy these granny panties. So you can buy them knowing that they're wedgie free, folks. These nylon size 12 panties are wedgie free. So what size? They're not quite big girl status because you can get a 13. I gotta find some glasses. I can't.
Wedgie free.
Wedgie.
I could see how that would be a bonus.
Buy in confidence from the bearded picker, knowing that they're wedgie free. All right, so What size? So if your hip area is 53 to 56 inches, pant size 26 to 28. Damn, these are big girls. There you go. They are silk, smooth, nylon fabric, uh, lace waistband for your comfort, and stay in place.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never thought of lace and my comfort at the same time.
So there you go.
I don't think that's going to work.
You know what? I've come to the conclusion that Scott keeps talking about the big girl panties because he wants about 1 million big girls to come in here and invade his show one day, so it'll drive his views way up there.
So Lag wants to know if I have any that aren't wedgie aren't wedges. Yes, they are the thongs. There's plenty of the champion thongs on my, and you for one can find my stuff on eBay. So
I'm
so
a wedgie myself.
So let's see.
Seriously, Scott, have you ever talked to your CPA about how much you could write off if you donated like 100 pairs of those, 100 of those, what, 12,000 packs of big girl panties to like the local women's shelter?
The different as a corporation writing it off is different. It'll just be an inventory markdown versus I have had that conversation.
Oh, you have?
He must not have liked that answer at all.
Aha.
No, I was just sitting here and all of a sudden I was gone. Scott must have hit a button. No,
So
I was just wondering because you got a lot of them.
So these things were actually they got down as low as 35,000. The last, so there are two listings. Let's not look at that one. Let's look at the other listing. Must be the right one. So I have to go to a keeper chart because so these things will sell in $19.99. I mean, I paid. Ain't nobody doing that.
He's gonna blame it on you. He's gonna blame it on you every time.
Ain't nobody. Whatever you're touching, time you keep.
I'm sitting here drinking. I got a cup of coffee in my hand. That's all I'm doing.
Where's your cat? Hold on.
Nobody's here. Everybody's asleep. Roberta's sitting over there.
Oh my god. We got a ghost.
But it's 50 cents to $20. So some of my rules for listing, I try to pick things up that are this will actually sell on Amazon. It depends on the amount of work. There's a $20 minimum. I try to work by a yard sale or an estate sale, but when there's nothing but scan a barcode and put the price on there on Amazon. So if you're ashamed to reach out to Bearded Picker and you don't want to know, just order them on Amazon. Right. They'll be on Amazon. So unfortunately I deleted a lot of the shows due to the aforementioned stuff we talked about earlier.
Due to the graphic nature of this.
Due to the fact that I spent a lot of time and conversating about the grams, and when they went through the hell, they don't even know they went through hell. Worldwide, phenomenon that the internet wanted to just scour and talk bad about people that had passed away because they were set against the death shot. And so once that happened, and I crushed all the live shows immediately. I'm like, you know what? There's not gonna be, the same thing won't happen to me. I mean, I didn't think I'd pass from not getting a shot, but and you don't want to know my opinion on what they did to Dusty. I believe the hospital and their protocols killed him. You look up resmetiviir, however hell you say that, and when they should use it, when they shouldn't use it, and what it does. From the moment they said, "Hey, we're going to put you on this," it was over. Do your research, folks. Don't believe the crazy bearded man. Go do some research and read about that hateful drug and how many people it killed in trials. And they go, "Okay, okay, let's keep using it." Okay, yeah. So you can't find them, but whenever 17 or 18, whenever promoted came out, I stood right here or sat right here and told y'all that is a money grab. It's going to get worse and worse. It benefits them only, because there are people who will step up to the front line, and I use it. Don't get me wrong, because you have to use promoted listings on eBay or else. Good luck selling stuff. There is an interesting. So if y'all don't know where it is, they're under eBay and on the dashboard. If you go to performance and then go to on the left hand side, there'll be sales. Hit the traffic one. I think traffic's. It's an interesting little chart. So yesterday I sold 2 items. One was promoted and one was not. The day before that, 9 items. 3 were promoted, 6 were not. That was a weird one. I tend to sell more. If you watch James, what's James's channel? Somebody tell me what James's channel is. His are flipped, where he sells way more. The day before, 8 items, 4 organic, 4 promoted. The next one, 3 and 2. So I sell more that are. But then here's a day that was 0 organic, all promoted. So
I bet you if I went back and looked at least 60 to 70% of mine are promoted.
My bar reseller life died. Did these things? I have mind block every now and then. It's part of getting old. Okay, so the 2 things that happen when you get old, you get mind block. You can't remember things, and then according to baseball, you can't tell time. So there you go. But it's and he's tracking. He does a nice job. So whenever things are not working, what do you do? This goes for everything. This doesn't just go for eBay and Amazon. I'll tell you the same thing about YouTube. If you're wanting some success, one thing you gotta do is you gotta pivot. You gotta be able to, if it's not working like you're doing it right now, and you're not able to pivot and change things, and then you sit back for 6 months and go, well, it still didn't get fixed. That's not the platform's fault anymore. That's you for not changing what you do, changing what you sell, making a plan, trying something different. If you just sit back, oh, woe is me, and don't take some responsibility, because I can promise you this, your bad sales, if you've got bad sales right now, are a combination of things. It is not eBay sucks. It is not Amazon is out to get the small seller. It is not I didn't promote enough on Poshmark. I didn't do parties. Part of it is the platform you having issues, but a lot of it is under your control. But they say the minimum is 2%. I'm only promoting at 2%. Good luck competing against somebody like me who is like, you know what? I put going rate +1 and put a cap on it. Good luck playing against me. I'm going to be ahead of you on everything we sell or similar items. Sorry. And I'm not the most aggressive one out there. There are other people that are way more aggressive than me. So
if I had a consistent product, I'd be way more aggressive than that. One product that I sold over and over and over again. You bet I'd be aggressive. Just like John. John would be aggressive on that stuff. Probably, I'm sure he is.
How many times has John sat here and told you he's been so aggressive running people off and crushing their spirit that he sold Pop Rocks at a loss to make them go away?
Yep.
Yep.
Because in the end, it's a gain. No, I still only promote at 3%, but that's me. Because I'm a part-time seller right now. It doesn't make any sense for me to change that method. I don't need to rely on my eBay sales right now.
So Jessica asked, great question. What do you think about best offer? So here's what I do about best offer, Jessica. I restart sales and promoted listings usually once a week. I know a lot of people do it daily and all those kind of things. So as I listed this week, that whatever items I've got will not have best offer. But before I relist and restart everything, I will add best offer to everything. So then it'll be 100% on there. And then as I list the next week, so I'll give it a week without the best offer. And then, but I even take offers when they're on sale. I don't care. Every now and then you'll have that idiot who wants, way too much off. And if it's too low, I just go, man, I'm tired of dealing with this person. I would decline, even though it's probably in your best interest to counter. Sometimes best interest and feeling good hitting the decline button don't equal. It's, so what's the pivot? The pivot's, you've got to be smart enough to know your own situation and know what it is. Is the pivot, cross listing is it's been popular, but it's crazy the rage right now. And there are services out there. There's a link in the bottom below for Flip. It's a free service. The difference between Flip and Vendoo, I believe, is Vendoo charges you by how many items you pull over. But they will also end. So if you sell it on eBay or Poshmark, it ends. Not Macari and the others, but it'll end those two. So you've got to pay attention to your sales. If something sells, you got to just go into Flip and mark it as sold, and it'll remove them for you. But it doesn't do it automatically. There are some things Flip does with Poshmark with sharing your store and automated and that kind of stuff. So I've been using that. Hey, no.
How's your Poshmark experience been, Scott?
Easy platform. I've sold, I don't know, 15 or 20 things. I don't know.
Well,
remember, I don't. My clothing. My clothing is just the
big girl panties.
Scott's going to be a Poshmark queen.
There's a link if anybody's brave enough. But so I sold my first thing on Macari yesterday. I think they're more price sensitive than any of the rest of them because I've just been putting the same price. The problem I have with Posh and Macari is all right. So for anybody who was sensitive and made it this far, please take your right finger and your left finger and stick them in your ears real quick. They have made those two platforms for stupid people. To shipping for stupid people. Because what's the hardest thing to learn on eBay? It's not what sells. It's not how to list. The hardest thing to do and control your profit and make sure that you make money and is to ship. There's nobody out there that they should be required to go through a shipping course before you're able to sell on eBay. Because if you've ever had a thought of putting it in a cornflake box and sending it on is a good idea, folks, if you remember my history, there is a guy out there in Texas that is so fucking stupid. He sent me a 50-pound tape machine. The packing materials were ceiling tiles and bed sheets, for God's sakes. There you go. He thought that was a good idea and was shocked that the damn thing came busted.
So it was in a box with ceiling tiles and bed sheets.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it was. I opened it live.
And it wasn't even packed tight, was it? It was just in there kind of loosely.
The ceiling tile was just crumbled in there like somebody put it through a cheese grater. It was awesome. So John's Atomic, new here. I mentioned Restart Promotions. Turning off, turn on. No, sir. Ending of the campaign. I delete the campaign. It takes a couple minutes for it to do all that. And then restart a brand new campaign, even if it's identical. So Farm Girl says, Noah says, Hustle Couple did a video 2 of 4 on Vendoo. I'll be getting Vendoo this weekend. So one of your pivots, look into these things. What's best for you? I'm considering Vendu, just because the memory is not great when I sell something, because Joni is doing the cross listing and does it actually what she's cross listed. I'm sitting here looking I'm having to check every item I sell right now to see if she's cross listed or not, because she'll be doing more today.
Have you tried List Perfectly?
Nah, I have not tried List Perfect. Those I've met all the folks that deal with it. They're really nice people.
Yeah, you were.
I think List Perfectly does the same thing. I might be wrong, but I think they do Poshmark and eBay as well. I think the big selling point for List Perfectly is bulk cross listing, whereas with the free one flip, you've got to do it one at a time. So it's a little more time. When they started, they were just mainly closed, so I kind of ignored them, Tom, because I don't do a ton of close. But I was talking to Tracy. Tracy, are you in the chat, by the way? Good morning, Tracy, if you are. If not, man, where the hell are you? We were at the thrift store yesterday, and I told him that since I am selling on Poshmark and we go to the thrift store every Tuesday, we see stuff that's new with tags and things that I need to start picking some of those things up, because new with tags, a few pictures and they're on, since I've got a Poshmark account anyway, my weakness for me in clothing is I can't see stains. I'll see something, man, it's a great item, and I don't want to spend it. When I first started in clothing, I spent a ton of time getting stains out and becoming an expert on, because I didn't catch them in the store. Between being excited and lighting and whatever, yeah. And then of course I don't know brands either. But new with tag stuff, I think we see that at yard sales too as well. I'm like, I should be picking this stuff up if I can get it cheap enough, because it's worth listing on Poshmark. What's the difference between a clothing item that's new with tags versus I don't have anything new at the desk other than this. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Listing, other than a couple extra pictures, really, that's much faster, but the clothing is not difficult when it's new. So, absolutely no. Drop the links in there. This is when we're talking about something like this, and if somebody else has already done the video, probably better than I'm going to do it.
I was watching the video, and this girl, she sources exclusively from yard sales, because she's down in probably not doing it too much this week, but she's down in the Florida area, north of Orlando, but inside of Florida. Anyway, she said that she's been noticing that prices at the yard sales have been steadily climbing, that people are not willing to deal with you, bargain with you. And her opinion is that people are sort of hurting for money, so they're trying to get every cent that they can get. Is that something that you've been running across since you yard sale all the time?
No, yard sales have been the same here. We'll find see, people think that because they're having yard sales, it's all going to be cheap. There's some kind of yard sale rule or whatever. We run into that yard sale every now and then. We'll go, the prices are high, and we'll go, they're smoking crack. They think they're a retail store. We don't waste a lot of time. We get back in the van and we're on to the next one. If they don't want to deal, if they don't want to do whatever, that's fine. You can't say that you're going to quit. You can't give up. If there's an obstacle in your way, you've got to be the one to go, you know what? Because the one thing I can tell you is the deals are out there, and it's the minute you're going to quit. So I've had this experience since I've been reselling, and Steve will tell you the same thing. If there's a store out of the way, if there's something and I'm trying to convince myself not to go there, not to do it, that store 9 out of 10 times is the home run store. And I'm sitting here. It happened last Friday. So Thursday night after the auction, Harlan and I are sitting here just counting up all our money from the auction. It was just amazing. We must have made $10,000 each, right? No, but anyway, and we're like, are we going to yard sales tomorrow? Let's like 3 or 4, and we're like, might as well. They're a little spread out, but there's 3 or 4. We might as well go. We get to the first one. That scavenger Tracy's there behind us, so we're trying to beat Tracy. It's like what you're thinking, Tom. They've said it's 6 family or whatever. All the prices are high. I buy one item, we all leave. I think we all bought like an item a piece. No, I mean the price was just too high. We go to the next one. They're not even ready yet. They advertise 7 o'clock and it's 7:15.
Those are my favorite.
They're not even. I'm like, going to the third one now. We roll up on the third one. It is a lady who is selling off her friend's stuff who had passed away and has no attachment to it. It's like a yard sale, estate sale. They've got everything in the driveway. We filled half of the van, and each one of us had to go get our fucking trucks. That's how much shit we bought. I bought 2 curio cabinets for $10 a piece. The ones from the 60s with the lights in the top of them and the glass shelves, $10 a piece. I bought microwave stands from the kitchen for $5 each, 2 of them. I bought a Lane cedar chest, a Lane cedar chest with a little thing, the felt line drawer that comes up with it, $10. Harlan bought a box spring, still in the plastic bag, never used, for $3. Everybody know what a DR trimmer mower is? It's like a big lawnmower on a lawnmower motor on the front of a monster weed eater on the front. The lady sold me one for $5.
A DR trimmer motor for $5.
It was Craftsman's version of it. So it was a Craftsman with a 6.75 horsepower breezing engine for $5. So I had to go get the truck. I had to go get the truck to get these big things back. And when I got back, the lady goes, "Yeah, somebody was kind of upset with me. He asked me, what did I sell that for?" And I told him, "You really don't want to know. It's going to hurt your feelings." And he goes, "No, I want to know." And I said, "Really, no." And the guy was insistent. So I told him $5. He just started cussing, shaking his head, and left. That was awesome. You need it, Jacob. It's at the auction. It'll be up Thursday.
I got my pressure washer for, let's say, $10 at a yard sale because they thought it was broken. They just didn't know how to use it. It was fine.
I mean, Harlan bought the lady she was a collector, so she collected Hallmark ornaments. If anybody's interested in Hallmark ornaments, I've got the lady's number in there. She's got over 1,000 Hallmark ornaments. She wants $5,000 for them. None of them have ever been opened. There's 2 of them, some special ones that are worth $250 a piece. But she's got complete sets of collector sets of the club sets only, all the cars, all the motorcycles, all the Barbie dolls, 2 and 3 of each of a lot of those. So if anybody's interested, reach emails down below, scott.zilke@gmail.com. I'll put you in touch with her. I got her phone number. It's just a little more long tail know what I want to deal with, but you're coming into we are knocking on the door of September. So it's the perfect time to get those if somebody wants them. She's pretty firm on the price, but that's it. She counted in the one section 447, and there was another closet full that she's like, I know there's more here than are here, so there's at least 1,000. Could be as much as 1,200. Yeah, Noah says she bought out a Hallmark collector 2 years ago, still selling them. But that's a good way to get inventory and have something sell through pretty quick. But it's so what first thing Harlan says when he gets in the van, he's laughing. He looks at me and goes, "We almost didn't go to yard sales. What the fuck were we thinking?" And that's my whole point in all this, folks, is are you pushing yourself? Are you still doing, you think you're still doing the same thing you were doing, but have you slacked off? Are you, well, I'm not going on Friday. Well, there have been some people that have slacked off. I can tell you this because Marlon and I were at that yard sale by ourselves for almost 30 minutes. And there's other stuff too. She sold me Anybody know what a resistance chair is? The black chair that's got the thing that you do this and this with. She sold it to me in all its pieces and never been used. She sold it to me for $5. In case you don't, I have two of them. So this is the other. This is what it is.
Sounds like you took advantage of this lady, Scott.
I did.
That's going to be the criticism.
You know how we took advantage of her?
By giving her what she wanted.
She needed to get the house on the market. It has to be empty, and she just wanted that stuff. She kept saying over and over, "Don't y'all want to buy more?" Yeah, I took advantage of her.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the criticism you get from some people, you know.
That's the resistance.
Super cheap.
That's the resistance chair. That one's this one is currently on eBay for $200 plus shipping if anybody needs one.
Don't you need to keep that and use it?
I'm not as old as you yet.
Not yet.
And then I got some other kind of exerciser thing too. It's in a seat like that too. They were both $5 each. It's funny how consistent people get luckier than lazy people.
Yep.
Larry, I don't believe in luck. If John was on here, he tells you over there it's labor under something, controlled knowledge or whatever the saying is. I truly believe that you make your own luck. You go to enough yard sales, you go to enough thrift stores, you put yourself in, you know, if you're sourcing online or you're making calls and going to auctions, you go to enough of them, you know, it becomes in your favor. The odds become in your favor because you're putting yourself out there enough. It just RA is tough, Dustin. I'm telling you right now, RA is tough.
It's getting tougher. It's still not impossible though.
But if you watch any videos about Amazon, everybody's talking about private labeling. You know, Scott needs to do a couple new videos about RA. Just give somebody.
The problem with that is and Josh hammered it yesterday when talking about it. The problem with that is it'll be just like the Monopoly video. I'll do some videos on RA. I'll go do them if you want to. But I can promise you this. Before you see the video, I'm going to have sold out. And so as soon as you look at the video and go, damn, Beard bought these, I can probably find these. And you get to the store, this is not an original idea for you. This is nothing that you came up with. You're already behind me. And so if I figured it out, somebody else has figured it out who was actually doing the work. And so now you're in competition with the people who are following me and, you know, will go by it. You know, these are the same people, and God bless her. I mean, please learn, folks, that don't understand that your cost, you know, affects your profit. You know, I see that question all the time. I don't know. What do you do with the cost? When I'm trying to figure out how much money I made. Here's your sign, buddy. Here's your sign. If you don't.
Your first number when you're doing your calculations, the first number is a negative number because that's how much you cost. That's how much you paid. But I wasn't talking about, you know, doing like, you know, showing people some bargains to go out and buy themselves. I'm talking about just the fact that this is another way to do Amazon. Because like I said, all the ones that I keep seeing, you know, it's all about private labeling. So
private label, understand that you need really good insurance because you are now the manufacturer. The one thing that's kept me away from private label is the fact that if somebody's kid swallows something or it's not made right or whatever, you were liable in the lawsuit as the manufacturer. I'm out.
I've mentioned it over on our shows. I don't know whether I mentioned it here or not. If there's a recall site, government recall site, and if you scroll down through it, you see lots of products that are sold exclusively on Amazon, like children's sleepwear, where they do not have the flame retardant in it, and bottles, you know, different things without the child safety caps on them. And this is the case where these people are going to have to eat everything that they've made, because they've got to refund all this money. And that's one of the things that they never address on any of these private labeling things is you got to be ready to take a hit if you screw up.
Like,
What are you going to do? Sue this Chinese manufacturing company? They're just going to laugh at you.
Did you change shirts, Steve?
I just took my sweatshirt off. Jeez. I mean, come on.
Okay, like, there's your answer.
It's not a big deal.
It
got a little warm in here. You know, it is summertime and all.
And you're a big fella and your boobs wet. I get it. There you go.
Yeah, you don't want to. Nicole mentioned Noel, mentioned the Tic Tac gum. Boy, did I sell a lot of Tic Tac gum.
She's still selling it and getting stupid money for it.
I don't know where she's selling it at because it's got to be expired by now. So you got to be selling that on Mercari or something. But because eBay took it down on my end, so I couldn't sell it anymore.
How come?
Because it was expired.
Oh.
Best by date passed. But man, was there money in that stuff. Ooh. And we were buying it. I think we were buying it for 50 cents a piece at one of the Amish stores. And we were selling it for, I don't know, crazy money. I can't remember.
Well, you know, that's one thing to do is when you're out grocery shopping and you walk past the Pop-Tarts section, always look and see if they got any kind of weird ass flavored Pop-Tarts because we've got stuff. I've scanned stuff and looked at it on eBay and it's selling for ungodly money, and because it's a limited run or they're test marketing it. You know, so.
Actually, I might have sold it. I might have bought it for 25 cents too. I don't remember. It's been a couple of years now.
And this was Tic Tac. I mean, what kind of gum?
Tic Tac gum.
Tic Tac.
Tic Tac gum.
They just discontinued it. We used to do really well with discontinued products. We haven't tried in a while, but.
So the one thing I would tell you too is one of the strengths, most of us are very small business owners. You know, there are some that are larger than others as resellers, but the one advantage you have over the big sellers is your ability to change and adjust. You know, that's like we talked about 3 estate with John back in the day. He's like, they use it now. But he's like, for me and my systems to change the size of tape is like, you know, you got to look at it. Boats are a good example. If you're a small business and you're a small seller, you got to realize you're on a jet ski. You can change in a minute. Whereas if you're going against one of these larger sellers that's trying to figure out something, it's an oil tanker trying to turn it. You ever seen an oil tanker trying to turn around? They don't make U-turns. They go this way and that way. They go straight lines. And so your ability to if you keep in touch with the market and understand, you know, market opportunities, market items, is where you're understanding what your strengths are. I think Josh mentioned yesterday a SWOT analysis. Anybody ever do that with a business? We did that back in school and talked about it in college. Anybody even know what a SWOT analysis is?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody should do one on your business and really take time to write it down. What are your strengths as a business and a business owner and your strengths personally? What are your weaknesses? Be honest with yourself. You know, you don't have to show it to anybody else, but understand part of dealing with your weaknesses is being honest with yourself and realizing we're not all perfect. All right, everybody, calm down. I know y'all thinking, no way, Beard, you're just absolutely perfect. I get it. I see where you're coming from. Nobody's perfect. I don't care who you are. Everybody's got problems. Just because someone has a lot of money or whatever, we think, oh my goodness, they still have a lot of problems. You don't believe me? Go look at Klaus Schwab. He's trying to be the evil overlord or Dr. No, and all this craziness. I can promise you, folks, but it makes no sense. If I had the money these folks had, I could give two shits what y'all did. I'd be living my life knowing that we get one time around this big rock here, and yeah. And
who was that? I'm sorry, I missed
Klaus Schwab. It'd be different if somebody mentioned Shaquille O'Neal. I'd be much more like Shaquille. He helps a lot of folks. He's a great human. He's somebody I look up to of figuring it out, and then, you know, I like seeing videos and what he does. You know, if you've heard him talk, he says I try to bless somebody every day. You know, that's if you had it in abundance. You know, that I would like to think that's the way most of us would think. You know, it's but yeah, not so. It's strengths, your weaknesses, and opportunities, and then be realistic too with the threats. SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. Understand, because if you don't identify the threats and don't identify what could happen, we always like to see the rosy side, the glass half full. You know, if I'm going to go buy all these Hallmark ornaments that the beer saw at the yard sale last weekend, and he might be wrong, I might sell them all. You know, that the price of some of those could die. You know, there's a lot of Barbies in that collection because the lady like Barbies as well. But Barbies, man, the movie's out right now. It's so popular. It's getting oversaturated. So you're taking a risk. Understand when you look at an opportunity, when you look at your business, when you look at anything, you should get real comfortable with SWOT analysis very quickly. You know, what are the strengths of this opportunity? What are the strengths of this business? What are the strengths of anything? What are the weaknesses? You know, and don't, because we all just like to see the opportunity. We all like to see, you know, look at this opportunity and I'm really good at this. This is going to be awesome. You know, we like to downplay. Where's my buddy? Come on. Remember the home run this guy was going to be. Man, Walmart's going to run out. They're limited supply. It's a limited color. Man, I bought a couple hundred of these, 2 1/4 of these things. Man, this is going to be the greatest product ever for fourth quarter. I lost $500 on these things. Can you believe an ass shaker lost? And I did not do that. So I did not take seriously what the threats were.
I did. I saw it coming, but it's only because I was way more timid in the way I was buying things at that. I still am. You know, I don't want to spend large amounts of money on a hot product because the Monopoly game kind of taught me a lesson. But all the signs were there that should have been a good product. Every sign was there. I remember we sat down and analyzed the hell out of that.
If it wasn't for those assholes,
it was. But we didn't figure that one piece of.
I did not calculate in the depths of depravity which a drop shipper is.
Yep. And it got bad. I ended up breaking even, I think, on the 5 or 6 that I bought. But
all these people that send me these messages on Instagram, all this stuff about how that they can take my account and want to do drop shipping, this or that, please rewind to the beginning of this show and what we talked about, brown eye. That goes for you too. There you go, brown eye.
Well, you know, there's been a bunch of YouTubers that are like big Amazon resellers that have lost their accounts because they were stupid enough to get into drop shipping, which is against the terms of service.
Phil, what are you talking about? That battery will die. You're right. Sooner or later, this battery will die, and I'll just put some more in it.
When did they start making replaceable batteries?
I mean, you got to feel a little uncomfortable because you're down there playing close to his parts. We're going to say she's a female because she's been neutered. So, you know, I don't have to move anatomical parts out of the way. Batteries.
Females don't get neutered. Well, maybe nowadays they do. I don't know.
Joanna says she's made a grab your ball shirt. That's awesome right there. But it's, you know, understand what the strengths of your business are. You know, one of the strengths should not be, I watch a lot of YouTube and I see people having problems. And so, I give up because eBay's against me. eBay's broken. eBay's this, eBay's that. Change products, cross list. Do the things. I mentioned James a couple times. I've been watching him pretty much every day. Just very interesting to listen to while I'm shipping or listing or whatever, and look at his video from yesterday. His his Poshmark sales are now catching up, and he's been one to complain about. And he's like, I'm tired of being complaining. I'm tired. I'm doing something about it. Cross listing. I'm getting real serious about cross listing, especially Poshmark. Poshmark sales are replacing the sales he's lost on eBay. That is a perfect example of a change what you're doing pivot. He talks about this a week or so ago. Are you doing your part? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. Are you doing your part? But Tupperware has been, no, you can't sell Tupperware. Tupperware is overrated. Or, too many people talk about Tupperware. You can't sell that. Even though my dollar ketchup and mustard things that I had, I sent them to auction. They went for like $14.
That's funny. My mom had those. I remember. And the little salt and pepper caddy. Remember that with the little stars on it?
Yeah, I have. I think I'm gonna put them on eBay. Maybe I'll list them today. That I got a 4-piece set of the blue can. The I forget what blue they are, but they're the blue canister set from the 70s. Look up the price of the saturated Tupperware and look up the blue canisters. What you
look
don't
at
know
any canister set from the 70s, especially the ceramic ones with the mushrooms or frogs or whatever. Those things. My wife got a set of those at a yard sale for like $25. I can't remember what she sold them for, but it was a hell of a lot more than $25. The mushroom ones.
Okay, so for everybody who can't look
big money in 70s right now. It's the people our age right now who are getting really nostalgic because we're getting old, and so we're buying crap from our childhood.
Yes, we are.
There ain't no getting. Tom is old. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I was talking about you and I, Scott.
So that's the set I have. I paid $3 or $4. All 4 pieces, $39. They got $12 shipping. That's a $50 set of canisters that they tell you. And but Beard, how are you going to ship those? You got 4 pieces. They stack in each other. It's so easy. I mean, this is,
and they're light.
And absolutely, they're light. They're probably going to 12 to 18 or something because they're
But the stuff never wears out.
Yeah, the blue ones are probably a less common color. Right, most of the time you see yellow. So, yeah, if you ever see something off like that, color that you're not used to seeing, might be a good idea to look that up.
My mom's got it's supposed to have been used as a like a cake cover, but she uses it as a sugar. That thing is big enough to put a full size cake in, and she's been using that. She dumps a cup of bags of sugar in it, like once a month, and she's been using that thing since I was a kid.
No wonder you got diabetes, all that damn sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get diabetes.
You're diabetes. You gotta say
diabetes.
It the right way.
Yeah, you gotta say it right if you're in the South.
So here's a good point, and I'd like to apologize to these people. So Noel says, "Wrong, Steve. The hipsters are buying it."
Whatever.
We've made a lot of fun of hipsters, and they have been talked negative about because they're kind of cliche and that kind of stuff. Is there a better group of people to the reseller community than hipsters?
If they're buying my crap, no.
I mean, they buy the hipsters and people of that thought process who like the older stuff. Is there a better group of people that buy stuff from resellers? It'd be hard to argue. They're absolutely good in this community. So
they tend to have money, which is a nice thing.
Yeah, because they usually are saving because they know that they want to have the cash on hand to buy that next item that they've been looking for, or they stumble across that's part of their lifestyle.
Okay, so even I become stumped every now and then, and so we're at that point of the show. I'm making a video. I'll make it short. I was working on a little bit before Steve interrupted me and said, "Good morning." I'm like, "Hey, bud, what's up?" I can't find this item anywhere. I have looked and looked, so anybody else can help me find it. Pick this up at an estate sale. Ta-da! It's made by Salton. They make a lot of kitchen stuff. It's Taco Bell branded. It's from 19. 1998. There's the model. FP25 TBR. I've looked up on Google. I've looked everywhere, but what's that stupid? What was the one? The one that holds all the eBay. No, the other one. It's not on Terapeak.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking. Now you got me stumped. Thanks.
It's not on Google.
Starts with a W.
WorthPoint. It's not on. It's not on Google. It's not on eBay. It's not on Amazon. It's nowhere. You'll find the quesadilla maker because I did just Taco Bell and Sultan. I did salsa maker, but yeah, seems like I have the only one in the world, and this one's brand new in the box.
So, what is a regular Sultan product that's based on going for?
Oh, I didn't look that
Or
up.
do they even have a product like that? Because if you can find the regular one, then add a certain percentage higher because it's got the Taco Bell branding. And
I might have to send that to the Sotheby's of New York and let them auction it off because I might have the only one.
Because I mean, somebody out there is going to be willing to pay a premium just because it has Taco Bell on it.
Yes, so Noah actually has the answer for you about hipsters is they know what they want and they have no problem spending for it. That's 100%. You sum them up, and you know they know the look they're going for. They know the stuff they like, and they know it is not easier to find, so they will pay. So yeah, it's good, folks.
Mr. Sadie, that was my same question as Scott this morning. Are there Taco Bell collectors?
Well, they collect a dog. They collect. Yeah. There are people that are buying Taco Bell packs of. That's the craziest thing, folks. Go look on eBay. You can sell packs of sauce on from Taco Bell. That kind of crazy.
Somebody in one of the groups showed somebody. Remember those Walmart bags that had the smiley face on them? Now these weren't that long ago because I remember having those. Mm-hmm. Well, somebody sold one of those on eBay recently, and it did really. I can't remember what it got, but it did really well. Just because it's vintage now, I guess. A yellow bag or a yellow smiley face on a blue bag.
I'm gonna use some big look with the little ats, and I'm gonna use rare, and I'm gonna use nobody else in the world has one. All in the title. Yeah,
it's coming up on Christmas time. Are you going to put up the Christmas tree descriptions with the flashing lights all the way around it?
Put some flames on it. It's
yeah.
Gonna be awesome. So Tom Higgins says,
Taco Bell. I missed that era of the internet.
Sold a jacket to someone in Florida named Frost. Be careful with uniforms, folks. Understanding that there are a lot of companies out there. If you're trying to if you're trying a UPS or a FedEx uniform or a post office uniform, or there are quite a few of them out there that the companies, it becomes a security issue for them. And so be careful with selling uniforms. Understand what you're doing, and not all uniforms are the same because of the access that uniform grants you.
The stupid hat that I'm wearing right now, DoorDash, it gets me in a lot of places. And it sounds stupid, but I can understand why these companies, well, they're not even, I think there's eBay puts down regulations like it has to be out of commission for 10 years and things like that. But I can get in a lot of places.
Tom Hayes, especially law enforcement. Yeah, they will crack down a lot of law enforcement stuff. The other thing too is like if you find the little lights for Lyft or whatever, they take those down as well. You're not supposed to sell those either. I would tell you how I know, but yeah.
Did you try selling one?
Try my.
I need a Walmart one.
I sold 3 of them, I think. Before the last one, they take it down and say, if you've said this, but I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm out.
I like the eBay warning that you get. Well, you may not have known that this is not right to sell, and then I'll never list another one again because then
I got one of those yesterday. I had an item that expired. I didn't realize I still had it in my store. And
something's got to be said about eBay when they do that, though, because other platforms like Amazon would not give you that chance. So eBay is a lot better to their sellers in that respect.
So what are we saying for Farm Girl for $30? Did I miss something incredible? Sells Trader Joe bags for $30. Yeah.
Well,
But
that's like
I'm not gonna explain where this hat has some of the places it's got into me because it's not. I don't want people to go out and do it. But all I have to do is ring a buzzer and say I'm delivering food, and they let me right in almost every building, and that's scary to think about.
yeah, that's not very. If it's security is strict enough that you have to be buzzed in.
Schools is
so
one of the places I get let into schools, and I do not like it. And I won't go all the way in. I'll make them come out.
So flipping goodies. This is a great thought. I'm glad you brought it up. Wondering if my post office is picking up today. Lives just outside of Crystal River, Florida. You can afford a late shipment, but would rather not. Your safety is more important. Man, with a hurricane, it's come down a little bit, but the surge is going to be bad through there. Remember that eBay actually and Amazon both they for as much as we say they don't, they do have an understanding heart and are very accommodating for natural disasters. And so if the post office and stuff close down, even if you get a late one, if you reach out to them and say, hey, I was in a hurricane affected area, they forgive most of that stuff. So yeah, do what's good for you, and worry about eBay tomorrow. If you can't get it, because the same thing happens for postal employees. Do we really want postal employees? Is eBay that important that we should put postal employees at risk? Falling trees and water and rain, etc. All that stuff. I've lived in a hurricane area. I know about all these things. It's not worth the risk.
I like Crystal River, Florida. I used to go down there scuba diving in the springs. That's a nice place down there.
I've never been to Florida.
So is that when they had the hose on to you, and you had to get the big metal suit?
No,
The big old metal hat.
no. We had regular scuba gear. Matter of fact, we were in one year. We were at the Crystal River's Christmas parade. And somehow or another, had been diving, and we left the hotel and was headed towards getting something to eat, and we noticed the traffic was bad, and we were in these two big vans that had Paradise Island Divers, Charlotte, North Carolina on the side of it. So I guess somebody thought we were supposed to be in the parade, so they motioned us on into the parade. And then when we got to the point where we were actually going on the parade route, our dive instructor told the guy, he says, we're not in the parade. We were going to get someplace to eat. He said, well, there's some good places to eat at the other end of the parade route. Just roll your windows down and start waving. So we going down
a bunch of angry children because you weren't throwing any candy.
So Tom, if Roberta's listening, I have a place that y'all need to go on your next vacation. It is absolutely wonderful. It fits you to a T. If you go to Bermuda, you're in, right? You want to go to the lovely island of Bermuda, that kind of. They have an underwater piano you can play.
There's a triangle there.
You can scuba dive down to the underwater piano and play us a tune. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be. If I go, I don't know if they even make enough weight to get me neutrally buoyant now. Because when we went in '95, we went to Australia, and my friend Chris and we went out on the Great Barrier Reef scuba diving, and I had a hell of a time because I had put on weight since the last time I had been diving. Had a hell of a time getting to be neutrally buoyant because of my fat ass.
So
I'd float.
This is a big channel. I don't know anything about him, so I don't know. But there's a video of somebody going down to play the piano on in the Bahamas. I'd seen it on one of the videos of somebody on a sailboat I watched. So that's the only reason I knew it was around there somewhere. I'm like, where is that damn piano? It's in the Bahamas.
Is anybody in the audience getting hit by the storm coming through Florida?
Hopefully everybody's safe. Hopefully everybody's taking their precautions. Yeah, it's Mother Nature is not to be tussled with.
We
Storm
had an earthquake here the other day, which is rare for Ohio, and it was centered. It was a 4 magnitude, but it was centered
Did you
maybe 30 miles from here. I didn't feel it.
did you get on the internet and see if they'd cranked up the earthquake machine or not?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen the advertisement on YouTube? So it's like Mothers of Science, and it's like these mothers asking questions about global warming, and then there's this PhD. She's over there giving her answers.
Josh Graff, you should be fine. It's not going to Destin. It's cutting across. It's not going to the Panhandle. It's going across the main part of Florida, so you should be all right. So Somewhere Certain says they're inland, and I don't want to assume your gender because it's not obvious. So whatever pronouns you choose to use, you'll be happy in them. They're inland and little wind and rain. So Jessica says she's in Ohio. She didn't feel it either.
Yeah, some people beyond me, farther away from the earthquake, felt it. I didn't feel a thing.
Flat Earth.
The flat Earth. Yeah. Well, it was on the Madison or the Lake County, Ashtabula County line, right in there near Madison, Ohio. So if anybody's there, yeah, Rennie says they're near Madison, but I'm all the way towards the state line. I didn't feel a thing.
So in anything in life, and we'll use reselling because that's what we're talking about. When do you fail? You had a bad week last week. You've had a bad month? Your sales are down. Did you fail yet? I can tell you right now, and I 100% promise you that the only way that 99% of us are successful and become successful there are failures in everybody's way. There are things that are not going to go right for every single one of us. And your success and where you get to where you are is, do you quit? That's the end is when you quit. Do you fight? Do you struggle? Because I'm telling you right now, that better day, the better sourcing, the better sales, the better whatever, can be hours away, can be whatever. And until you call it quits, like quit. You seem like that kind of person, right?
Rennie says they're in Rock Creek. I'm in Conneaut, so Rock Creek would be a lot closer.
Yeah, Josie, I 100% agree. You fail when you just stop trying something new. When you don't pivot, when you don't put in the time, when you don't put in the effort, when you don't, because if this was easy, if running your own business was easy, everybody would do it. There's a reason why people have jobs. Being an entrepreneur, being someone who is, even if you're not an entrepreneur, but you're willing to work for yourself and create yourself a job, it's not the easiest thing to do.
It is not the easiest thing to do.
It's not for everybody. Mr. Sadie, 100% correct, Larry. Every success is built on failure. You go back, if you want to, it's a great history, is go back and look at the story of George Washington and the Revolutionary War. How many battles did Washington lose? That we lost in the American Revolutionary War, for all you Americans out here. Both the Joshes, Graff, and Galt, y'all can tune out of this part of the program. During the American Revolution, look at how many battles we lost, and this scrappy bunch of Americans kept fighting. It was worth more. Look at the folks who signed the Declaration of Independence and what it did to their families and their fortunes and everything. There was a concerted effort to destroy these people. Go look and study how many of these people and what kind of deaths they died. It was awful. But they fought for something that was important. How important is your own business for you? Yeah, I quit carbs. The hell with carbs.
I did for 99%. I don't hardly do carbs. I haven't lost a pound yet, though.
I quit being a fat ass.
Well, I did. I lost 10 pounds right away, and then I haven't lost anything since.
I saw a picture on I know I lost the weight. I can see that I lost the weight, but I saw a picture the other day that was like, for the first time, I'm like, I've still got a few more pounds I want to lose, but it was, I'm like, damn.
Pictures really do speak 1,000 words. I saw a video the other day that I did at the Nashville flea market 4 years ago, where I weighed 220
So
pounds.
Harlan and I were at a yard sale, and I'm like, there's a whole lot less of me than there ever was. I'm like, so that's been in there. That's an app that friends here in Huntsville, if you need an inventory app, look into been in. But yeah, that's
But cha-ching.
We sold a camera.
Wait, a camera?
34 plus ship. I know y'all are going. If you're driving your car right now, please pull up to the side, because even listening to this might cause.
You're standing up, sit down.
Yeah, if you're take a seat, everybody. I give you 20 seconds. Are you ready? Are you ready? I've listed
That
like
wasn't 20
I've
seconds.
listed like 30 cameras. I've sold a bunch of them already. All the ones back here, they're all listed. I know y'all are finding it hard to believe that I actually listed cameras, and I didn't. I stopped my collecting cameras and I started listing cameras. It's amazing how many of them have sold already.
I thought that was your retirement fund. The problem with digital cameras is by the time you retire, they'll be defunct and nobody will ever want to use them again.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Scott, if you keep losing weight, you're going to start looking like Yukon Cornelius. You're getting there now.
Yeah, the beard's all a mess this morning, but it's in one of those in between stages. I decided I'm not cutting no more. I'm going back to Johnny. Are you listening, please? Yeah, we're going back to the legend. I know I said that before. I cut it off again, but I'm not. I keep seeing the picture of me on my phone every now and then, and I keep thinking, "Damn it, that was a handsome."
By the way, I guess there's room for two legends in this chat or in this.
I kept thinking, that's a handsome motherfucker. I got to be that guy again. Are y'all ready?
Yeah,
I need to be that guy again.
Good Lord. You look like that. You look like the Sasquatch off of one of the commercials. It's
Jack Links.
But even then, you can see how I was really big then. Damn, I had moves. It was terrible.
Yeah,
I do. That is the one thing I do not like about being fat is my moves. My wife is home.
Normally the sweatshirts say Yeti.
Must have been a bad day.
It says Yeti.
That was a whew. Yeah. Marsha.
Yeah, she still can't hear you. If she's home already, that means there was no work available today, and that is not a good thing.
That means you need to list on eBay. What the hell?
Well, she needs a day off anyway. She's been working 7 days a week for 3 or 4 months now.
What is she doing?
So, delivering Walmart, same as I do.
We had a delivery made here, and the guy, he said he could work 24 hours if people would allow the deliveries. To receive the deliveries. He says they've got so many deliveries around here to make.
Well, here's the thing. Walmart is testing out a new thing where you make 3 deliveries at a time instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's cut down on the work by 1/3. And so, yeah, this week has been really slow for us because you don't make it back in time for the next delivery for one. It's a big mess. Hopefully they change it back to the way it was, because now people aren't making any money because you're getting less work. You're getting more work, getting less pay. Let's put it that way. I have to make 3 deliveries at a time instead of 2 deliveries at a time.
Are you paid by delivery, or you paid by?
Paid by delivery, and it depends on what the tips are. I mean, it's just like doing DoorDash.
But did I have anything else on my list? And then each one of us success. What do you really need to understand and determine what success is? Because if you don't have targets that you're trying to hit, you're never going to. If you don't have a goal and a target, you're never going to hit it if you don't have it. And so, really understand in this business, what are you looking for out of this business? There's there's people out there who are absolutely killing reselling, and they make big businesses and they do whatever, and it more power to them. That's not everybody's goal. I don't want another job. I'm creating a business and a job for me where I don't have to manage people anymore. I don't have to be a social worker anymore. You know, it's a lifestyle. It's lots of different things that if I want to sit on the internet for 2 hours on Wednesday and talk to you guys, all right, let's turn the camera on.
Well,
Mark
it's
said,
only, with the way your president's doing, it's only going to get worse. He's going to shut us down again. So the delivery people will be frontline people.
Matt,
Yeah, and if that happens, I'll make more money. But I don't want that. You know, I don't want to make money that way.
I'm gonna go check Matt Snapper. You just wait.
I'm going to take advantage of it if that happens, but I don't want that to happen. Companies making more money than they probably won't go back, and that's part of it. Yeah, I agree with that.
So, Matt Snapper, I have gone out and taken a live picture here so that you can understand. Weather's terrible, and it is just coming down in buckets. That's what it looks like in the backyard.
Very nice.
Sorry about that.
Carolina blue.
Yeah, we don't have rain here for Sunday or Monday at the earliest. So Josie, did I ever make a clearance section? I am currently redoing the store right now, so I am going to do that. I'm just now getting everything into categories. I've got probably another hour and a half or so to finish categorizing everything, and I am doing a clearance section. So I will definitely keep you abreast of how that works. But I am definitely.
You said breast.
I know, right? You always gotta work. You got to work in breast at some time in conversation.
Well, I guess the storm's missing us, or what we got last night and the night before was it, because we're going to have clear skies the rest of the week up until this time next week.
No, there's a lot to that. It's just quit listening to what others are not selling. So I listen to most stuff I listen to in the background. Listening to the, I'll make a few comments on Josh's, but most of the time I'm shipping when Josh is live, and I listen to James when I'm carrying on out here, just to have, just thoughts. And the one thing I would tell you is, if you're going to listen to others, find people like those two guys who are talking. Josh mentioned it yesterday. You need to, and I 100% agree. You need to find, as you get, there's levels of progression in reselling. And if you're new to reselling and you've actually found this channel, you've got a better chance. We're sorry, but if you can put up with the nonsense and realize we'll answer any question for you, you've come to there's no bad question, because if somebody has a shipping question, we'll talk shipping for the next hour. It doesn't matter to me. So any question you've got, ask away. But the one thing I would tell you is, as you should transition. Maybe watching people, what they find got you into reselling. Hey, I can do that. That's something that I enjoy. But then you need some theory. You need to find people to listen to that are talking about building businesses, sustaining businesses. Not only, I like James's progression. It's from woe is me to look what the hell I'm doing on Poshmark. I'm spending an hour or so. I think the comment he made the other day was, I'm spending like an hour or so cross listing. I think it's in my best interest. Maybe I make that too. Find people that inspire you. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be whether you got to find people that inspire you, whether others, not everybody's, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, which I can't imagine why not. I don't understand that one, but anyway, not everybody, so Don Auction Fest is a good example. Some people love him, some people hate him. I like, because Don has a similar background about where we've been and what we've done. I like Don. I mean, he's very, I like the no beating around the bush. You can call it like you see it. I'm all right with that kind of stuff. some people need that nicer, fluffier. But whoever it is, find a group, find some. You've got to understand. You've got to have people that cause you to think about, advancing your business, advancing your processes, building something versus, how many videos can you watch of, how many fucking holy grails are out there? Let's go search for yard sales right now. And every one of these videos is, and these people are YouTubers. I got nothing against them, folks. If you're making your money on YouTube, make your money. But how many serious resellers have got the time to watch a Holy Grail video that the same person had a Holy Grail video last week and a Holy Grail video? Oh my God. All this person does is find Holy Grails. What the hell?
Some of these storage locker people, they're some of the luckiest bastards on the earth because they find good crap every time.
I've bought storage lockers and found trash.
Yeah.
There are some good ones out there, of course.
There are absolutely good ones out there.
I mean, look at Storage Auction Pirate. I think he's a pretty honest, good dude.
Yeah.
There's others out there who may not be.
He spends
I
a
could
lot
name them, but I won't.
He spends a lot.
Yeah, but he does. He spends a lot of money to get those good lockers. He knows what he's doing.
So he
spends a lot of big money on some of them those lockers.
I met him in person. He's comes across as very honest. He is what you see on the YouTube. Mike's. I have respect for Mike. He's got a lot of hustle, and they work. Him and his family and the family businesses that he's built, they work a lot. Don't miss that point, folks. Yeah. Storage lockers, and then making the content that he makes. That's a lot of work.
Did you get any today?
And don't ever discount the fact of the amount of work that these guys put in. Holy Grail.
Damn right. You deal with a lot of crap too.
Mr. Sadie, I'm labeling this video as a Holy Grail when I put it out today. That it's Taco Bell Holy Grail. Nobody else has got one. It's got to be a Holy Grail.
Look. Parts. Fill it up. You got 1,000 characters. Use it.
What qualifies as a Holy Grail anyway? We should come up with some. We talked a few weeks ago about the reseller Bill of Rights. What is vintage? But there should come up a list of rules, and everybody should have to sign them whenever they start reselling.
But the concept of Holy Grail is different from everybody. Well, Holy Grail might be something somebody spent $1 for and made $25 off of, and that $25 will help them make their power bill or whatnot.
For me, I'll disagree just slightly. I don't think Holy Grail has a dollar figure. I think based on what we all like and what we don't like, you guys know I'm into cameras, and there's certain cameras I've never found and I would love to find, So I think there's a personal Holy Grail for you could be searching for, you could be a clothing seller and come across that damn band T-shirt that you've looked for your entire life. I mean, there's items that they're so rare like that, or there's other items that are not as rare, but something you've always wanted to find, and it's become that grail to you, that grail item to you that you've always wanted. So I think that's why we see so many of them, but I think that term is overrated. Josh, I know 20 years and 100. I get it. I agree with you. That's the definition I use for vintage and antique.
Scott's vintage. I'm antique.
See, Larry. Even if Mr. Sadie agrees, this got to be right. Larry's a straight shooter. He said his Holy Grail is worth 0 to most people, but I think that's a lot of it. But you guys are right. That Taco Bell thing, it might be a Holy Grail to somebody. Somebody out there might know it exists. I found it in the States. So I didn't know it exists. And if you look at Google, Google doesn't know it exists.
So you're going to send it up to Christie's in New York?
Maybe so. There'll be somebody.
Number one item is a Vincent Van Gogh print. The second item is a Taco Bell
salsa maker.
Salsa maker, yeah. The third item is a set of diamond earrings worn by Princess Diana. But you know, collectors will spend a lot of money for to get something. The ones that know me know I have a big interest in science fiction. A friend of ours, he was he collected everything Star Trek, and he must have spent a damn $150 on marshmallows because some of the marshmallows had this little Star Trek piece of cardboard that folded into a little box. But he bought all these marshmallows just to try to get that one little box for his collection. So there might be somebody out there that collects Taco Hell stuff, and they've just got to have that salsa maker. It don't matter how much it costs.
And just think about how many collectors are out there, and that would tell you how many Holy Grail items are out there for the most part. I think the term in videos is overused, but there are way more than we would ever care because the definition is so fluid based on what you collect. Look at Disney collectors. A lot of the Disney stuff you look and go, I would give you 10 cents for it, but I'll buy it to sell it to you.
Yeah.
But how many collectors are just, it's that item that you list that you don't think nothing of that sells in 10 seconds and you go, maybe I listed that too low. Maybe I did this. Maybe I did that. No, the right person who had to have that item, it's got a save search. And when you came up, they went, holy cow, that's what I've been looking for. And they bought it. It's an item to them that they consider that way.
One of the first things that I sold on eBay was I was at a yard sale and I bought for like $1. It was like a big stack of Piedmont Airline napkins. This was after Piedmont was bought by US Air. I sold them things because I must have had 1,000 of them. I sold those things at $10 a pop for like 2 years because people that collect airline memorabilia wanted those things.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't cost anything to ship. I slapped them between two pieces of cardboard and taped them up and put a label on them and shipped them so they'd lay flat. But
just think about even the new stuff. We think, can there be Holy Grails and that kind of stuff? Mad Snapper collects Star Wars and Hot Wheels. Just think how many super treasure hunts there are out there and how hard those things are to find. And that's modern. Think about the video games. You think, well, look how many crazy video games are out there, and you look one up and you go, that stupid thing's a couple $100 for a video game, and because they just didn't make many of them. Even the new stuff, a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, whenever all the little Skylanders were a rage, there was one that was made less than all the rest of them. That little black Chaos, and you had to have Chaos to finish the damn game. I can't tell you how many of those Chaos that, were, as I'm searching stores and everything else, that became a Grail item. I found a bunch of them, but they were extremely hard to locate Chaos. If you hunted Chaos,
does it make you, being that you're a seller and you see people selling the stuff that they're selling and people buying the stuff that they're buying, does it make you feel like you shouldn't throw anything away? My younger brother and I probably destroyed $1 million in G.I. Joe stuff because we had at least one of every, and I'm talking about the 60s G.I. Joe stuff. We had at least one of everything. Some of them we had two.
You can't do anything about what's been destroyed, but it really teaches you a lesson of what type of things people look for, and can do better about. I think we overreact some points, and we think, this whatever they made 1 million of them is eventually, iPhones are a good example. How many people, I sold an iPhone 4S the other day. Who the hell wants an iPhone 4S? What the hell would you need a 4S for? Maybe you use it as an iPod or whatever, but still, That's really the only use, because if you go look up 2G and 3G, those phones don't work anymore. The 2G and 3G systems were taken down a couple of years ago. So unless it's got 4G, the phone is no good. And I've got them laying around.
Yeah. But you look through, if you get online, if you get on eBay and you start looking through like Star Trek or Star Wars or any of that kind of stuff, there's people selling candy bar wrappers that were, you know, they had Star Wars or Star Trek or Hot Wheels or, you know, that kind of stuff on them. And people will buy them.
I just looked up the search term. The holy grail of sex, low boost and dry boast. Get ready for the best orgasm. $90. $90 can get you that. There are over 13,000 results on eBay that use the term holy grail in the title. The holy grail Pikachu Illustrator PSA 9 mint. They've got this card listed for $4 million. Most valuable Pokemon card is what they're saying. It's listed for $4 million. It has 6,600 watchers.
I hate that for you, Sue.
Rare Blu-ray lot, 4K Holy Grail, new unboxed sealed Terminator anthology steelbook, more. Here's a T-shirt. Vintage perfect anime shirt, authentic Satoshi Kon Holy Grail, $250. Mickey Mantle card, GMA PSA 10, Invest Holy Grail, $165. So that's when did I say Johnny's phone? Her husband is still using it. I don't know, because I've got her. I don't know which phone that was.
Sue said that she had to go back and get blood draw because they lost one of the vials. Sue, I took Roberta one time to get blood, give her quarterly blood draw. And she's been doing this now for 10 years. And the orders didn't have one of the vials that she needed in it. So we had to make a trip back up there just because somebody didn't put it in the orders.
And Nissa, you might want to wait. Joni swears she's upgrading phones to the 15.
I only got one good name.
And they announced those phones in 2 weeks. I'll have to trade mine back in, but we own hers outright, so who knows what.
I'm surprised that this is even in here this morning listening. I figure she's out running around because she's childless now. School started today, so she's not home with teenagers.
9:30.
My mom, when we were in elementary school, when school would start back, my mom and the neighbors on both sides of us were stay-at-home moms. They always talk about roll the flags out, put the flags out, because the kids were gone.
So Serena says she has a needle phobia. Joni used to before all these. When we first met, we almost didn't get married because of a needle. I think I told this story before. So in the state of Alabama, I don't know if they do it now or not, but you used to have I had to have a blood test done. I guess they were testing I don't know what they're testing for. Who knows? So so we're at DCH, which is the hospital in Tuscaloosa. They had a little lab or whatever, and so we're both in there, and Johnny goes, "Okay, you go first." I'm like, "All right, no problem." That lady goes to stick my arm, and Johnny was in the chair beside me, and they're doing her neck. And I start screaming and carrying on like they have just shot me. I mean, just like I'm in pain and carrying on. And I looked right at Joni, and Joni she's already a pale creature. She doesn't like the sun, so she doesn't get out. But she was easily 5 or 6 shades whiter. I don't think I could do this. I don't think we're getting married. La, 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 la. That was awesome, by the way.
According to Google, it was blood tests were an assurance by the government that you weren't marrying someone who had some sort of unknown venereal disease, which could cause issues with potential unborn children. Who would have thought?
They were testing for something, some if you put 2 genetics together or whatever, it's bad or something. I think that was one of the things they test for, whatever that was.
Down 2 hip chicks, that's down in Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana.
Well, I was not from Alabama and she was, so there you go. I was from North Carolina, so
were you born in North Carolina?
I was born in Chapel Hill.
That's sad.
I know, right? Yeah, we moved to Kinston when I was 2 months old, and I was there till I was 17. Then Alabama from 17 to God knows when. Moved to Alabama in 86. Left here in 2001. Was it 1 or was it 4? Johnny can tell you. And then came back in 16.
Scott, are you old enough to have the scar on your shoulder?
Oh, yeah. Smallpox vaccination?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the last year, 69.
Was it?
I think that was last year.
You know, that was a day when they lined your ass up and like an assembly line.
1972 is the last smallpox. So, yep, unfortunately.
Midlife Pete? Oh, 72. Okay, I thought you were saying you were 72 years old. The old days. Give you a shot, paddle your ass. They didn't care at school back then.
I'm out on those kind of things, like I'm out. Sorry.
Well, I'm with you that I don't like needles.
I know all y'all are gonna. If y'all all promise to watch my 2 little short videos, I'll show you the other items in the other video. And I want to know how many people would have bought this item. It was in the backyard, leaning up against the table, and this hoarder house. And I looked at it.
Hoarder. You said hoarder, right? Hoarder.
Yeah.
Okay, because the other kind of house, I'm not sure I want to buy anything.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so y'all have to.
Did I just derail the show again?
No.
Anybody else would have bought this? The ultimate sweater machine.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Anybody want to care to guess what this thing is worth?
I know I can't remember I don't know what they're worth now, but I know they were over 100 before.
And in case you're wondering, it is sealed and brand new, or not sealed, but it was never sealed, but it's brand new.
My guess is going to be $183.50.
I like your guess better than my price.
Harlan says 150.
And that's because he knows what it's worth.
Swamp said 125. Mark said 89.
Okay, so if Harlan was there when I bought it and he knows what it's worth, you should probably go with Harlan's guess.
I go with Harlan's guess. $80 from the Mad Snapper.
And
no, I wouldn't buy it. I know that those were worth money.
That was laying on the other table. It's a part that goes with it. That's where I've got that listed for $38. I paid $2.
That's the thing.
Sometimes
those accessories, even though they come with the thing, sell them separate because you'll make way more money that way.
You know, if I was at a hoarder house, Harlan would be right there.
Yeah, I'm sure either place. Yeah.
You used, whenever you were a good reseller, you used to buy a lot of Christmas. Anybody ever seen that before?
I would buy that for
The
sure.
Fanta's Barbershop Quartet is still new in the box too.
Those things, you'd be amazed. The Lee Max stuff, even the Mr. Christmas stuff, which is Walmart.
Paid $5 for it.
Yeah. Some of that older Mr. Christmas stuff does really, really well. The skaters, the magnetic skaters on the pond. I used to sell a lot of that kind
Here's
of
a good
stuff.
one. That one was still laying there last day. She charged me $2 for it.
I can't even tell what that is. It looks like a mouse.
It is. It's a sealed Microsoft 3000.
Noel says that those machines part out for more than selling them as a hold.
As a new sealed one, though, I would sell it as a whole.
Anybody got any guess what this is worth? Would y'all pay $2 for that?
Typically something like that.
What's the brand on it?
$25.
Microsoft. There's your price.
Yeah, I was right. Oh no, $49.99.
For $2, I'd have just bought it and threw it on the shelf for us to have it because somebody's always needing a mouse around here.
Oh yeah, and it's a USB mouse, or wireless, isn't it? Not USB, but wireless. I sell older trackball mice that are still sealed. Those things do really well sometimes, depending on what they are.
So Brenda says depends what Harlan's wearing. Were you there? And Harlan answers. He wears nothing at work.
Harlan's wearing depends. Is that what you said?
No.
Depends is what Harlan was wearing. That's how I read that.
Lord.
You're just not right.
It's amazing what your eye catches versus other people's eye. There were lots of people. This place was packed. Another lesson that I should go to these because it was our order house and they had so much stuff. It took them a month to get this estate sale ready. They had to take stuff out of the house to price it to put it back in. She had 40 pictures and that was it. I'm like, how do you have just 40 pictures? She said, well, there's so many of the same items. I didn't figure I'd take a ton of pictures. I'm like, you just never know. You got to go to. I wasn't even going to go to this one, and Harlan's going to Nashville, and Harlan calls me. He's like, I just passed the sign for an estate sale. It's only like 4 miles from your house. I'm like, shit. All right, I'm going. And that was Friday. That was full price. I bought. The media doesn't change prices at this estate sale. So I bought 30 new sealed DVDs and a couple other items that I knew wouldn't be there that were good money, and then left everything else to what was there when I got back on Sunday. It's amazing when you try to talk yourself out of stuff whenever you don't put in the extra. You want to be successful. You want to increase your luck. Put yourself in more positions to win. Do more things. Go to more sales. Try different things. Pivot. Do all these things that we've mentioned in passing today. And there's
pivot. Sorry.
You'll be amazed. You look at these YouTubers and you go, why do they? How do they find such good stuff at all theirs? They must have the world's greatest yard sales.
No, they just go
you're looking at one yard sale. How many yard sales do they go to make the video for you?
That the point right
true.
there.
Yeah, that's also true.
And that's like the storage locker auctions. How many storage lockers did they buy before they got one that had some good stuff in it? I mean, it's about the numbers.
There are a lot of resellers everywhere, man. I can't. Population for population. There's got to be more resellers here than.
I just found out today that somebody lives close to me. Just right here in the chat. There's resellers everywhere, and it's just only going to get more and more.
And if you don't go to the last day, I mean, all that stuff was last day stuff, except maybe the mouse. Yeah, it was last day.
I do really well on last day.
Never mind. The first day is still in the van. I ain't got it out yet.
I do really well on last day, especially at estate sales, because around here the small electronics are the ones that people are passing up because they just don't know. So like your older Walkmans that aren't super old but old enough, the cassette ones, things like that, small electronics, phones, things
So I
like
picked,
that are always there on the last day.
here's a good story. I'm not gonna mention the item, but I've got them on Amazon now. It's you see in the estate sales, you might see one every couple of weeks. You know, they're frequent, but they're not like super frequent. This one estate sale 2 weeks ago had 7 of the same item, 7. And you look at it and go, one, you wonder why, you know, are people still using this? Okay, 2, maybe they've got some kind of issue, but 7 of the same one, it's you just. The one thing I'll tell you, Mark, is these estate sales, there's something. If you're getting to estate sales and there's nothing there for you, or you can't find anything, it's not the estate sales. The problem is, look at the mirror. You either you don't know enough categories, you're not willing to sell things that you find. You know,
You're not taking any risks.
One of the biggest lessons people have to learn when they're reselling is what's available in my area. You know, you sell what's available, you know, and if that means you've got to learn a new category, you learn a new category. If it, you know, what's it worth to, what's being a reseller, what's having your own business, what's all this, you have to decide what's it worth to you.
Around here, I don't get the big high end electronics like you do. You know, you find that stuff more frequently. Here, it's a smaller, lesser known stuff, but I still find similar items.
So Mark says he won't sell women's underwear, and that's why I'll stomp you into the ground all day long. Because it's just a widget to me. I just don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, it's just a widget. It's just not. Yesterday,
So my memories just came up on Facebook the other day. 4 years ago. Remember the bras? All over my kitchen table, all over my counters. I'll sell that stuff. I'll sell that stuff all day, every day, because there's money in it.
So yesterday I sold a printer. I picked it up for $15. She had it for $50. Half price would have been $25, Harlan, because I bet you can get it for $15. Hey, you take $15 for it? And so I'm buying this thing. Was the box it went in was 40 by 16 by 16. It weighed 49 pounds. It went to Washington State from Alabama. All these things are terrible, right? I put calculated shipping on it, and it charged them $109 shipping. I paid $72 shipping. I sold the printer for $200. How many people? That estate sale been 3 days long on that printer. I saw it when Harlan and I went the second day, and I'm like, hell, I'll get it tomorrow. Nobody else is going to buy that damn thing. It's heavier than a boat anchor.
Brenda says, I'll sell anything. Profit is profit. You know, one of the things I learned from Dusty was, after watching his shows, was don't poo-poo anything that's sitting on the table, because, you know, Dusty used to buy some of the most off-the-wall stuff and it would sell. So I think it taught me to not look for just the common stuff, but like I bought at a thrift store. I bought a cigar box full of the little breakers that were like tubes, and you pull one out and put one back in, and it connected it together. I don't know what they're called.
No,
but, fuses, like fuses. I bought a box of those for like $2, and I have sold those things for probably 3 years.
So Mark says no clothes for him. I sold a pair of running shoes yesterday for $80. I had to give 20 for them, but I got 80 for them. There's so much money in used shoes, is crazy. I mean, they're easy to look at.
I don't like sound clothes either, but there's certain ones. I don't do a lot of clothes and shoes, but I know a good deal when I see it.
But to say
my best-selling product is something other guys wouldn't want to sell. My best-selling product of all time, Scott knows what it is. It was a feminine product, and I would go into it was a retail arbitrage product, and I would go into the store and buy cartons full of this stuff, $2.45 a box, and I was getting $20 a box on Amazon, and I was not even a slight bit embarrassed to buy any of it. And I wasn't worried about selling it, as a guy. Who cares? You got to get over that stuff sometimes. And clothing. If you're afraid to do clothing, well, you're missing out on some things. I've got some clothing, vintage stuff in the closet here that I have to list.
Yeah, Tom.
I wouldn't just discount an entire category just because you don't think you would like it.
I've sold ass pads. I've sold 2 bottles of ball toner. I just don't care what. I've sold more tampons and more. How much money have we made on all those damn pads?
We sold. I think I had a couple thousand of those that I sold. The pink box. Yeah.
Mark, it's like arguing with this filing cabinet here, Mark. You don't see the point unless you're out of inventory. Don't trip over items that sell well. It's just
we're gonna show Mark right now. Would you sell this, Mark? Cleveland Browns leather jacket. I bet you would.
I've never even seen that logo. It's got to be old.
No, it's not that old. Would you sell?
Baseball.
Would you sell that, Mark?
Baseball has joined the program again. Welcome back, baseball. He's the one that tells me we're late every day.
Both of those jackets sell for over $100.
You keep thinking Beanie Babies don't sell, and you laugh at the people that's the big joke on the resellers. That's how you can tell the quality of the person you're listening to. That's how you can tell if they make a blanket statement that the Thai products don't sell. You should immediately quit listening to them because they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. If they are willing to discount, are they older Thai Beanie Babies? They suck. There's very few of the older ones, but I have sold so many of the Beanie Boos, and so many of the slippers, and so
Beanie
many
what?
of the ovens. Huh?
Beanie what?
Beanie Boos.
Booze?
There's a big-eyed one.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying beanie boobs. I said, yeah, I didn't know they made those.
It'd be different if I didn't have one sitting here. The ones with the big eyes.
Okay.
On the tag, it says Beanie Boos.
Okay.
Now, most of those are just average, but there's a few out there that are worth decent money.
Daily
And they're
Refinement.
not hard to find.
Daily Refinement said, "Oh, it's a waste of time researching." Can I make a comment that's probably gonna come off as, and I have nothing against Chris.
Wait, let me stop you. The opinions of the host. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah.
If you're gonna form your opinion based on somebody whose account's permanently suspended, maybe you ought to listen to some fucking body else.
That is my assessment of the situation as well. I hate to say it because the guy's a nice guy. He's very motivational.
He's
for
smart.
A lot of
He's a
people.
nice guy. He's got a great thing going.
But you're following somebody who who can't do it,
I
and
think he
do
does.
it correctly.
I think he does have a store. I think he's actually selling on eBay, but
Sure, he is.
you can't never convince me. This is not a good seller.
But-
That's why it's still
but
here. But this
If
one,
I got my account suspended for anything, you should not listen to a word.
this one's worth $12. And I think I paid $1 on clearance the last time I was at a Rite Aid. It's been hanging around. But I'm telling you, I've sold well over 1,000 Alvin and the Chipmunks from Thai Beanie Babies. That the lowest I would take for is $24.95.
You sold so many that I couldn't even find one.
It was $4.40 for my discount at Rite Aid. And my brother probably sold more than I did. Between the two of us, we probably sold 3,000 Alvins on just Alvin, not anything else, just Alvin. And the bedroom slippers, holy shit! I've sold thousands of the bedroom slippers.
I'll tell you though, Rite Aids have taken most of their toy departments and they're gone. There's still tiny Beanie Babies there.
Walgreens bought our Rite Aids.
I mean, how much research are you doing? And okay, so he says you're wasting time doing research. if you're just doing the minimal research of hitting it on the eBay with the barcode scanner, how much time are you exactly? How much time are we looking up here? If hit it with a barcode and read it and move on? Is that taking?
What is that? No, I don't want to talk bad about somebody without getting a full understanding. Why did he say that? What is the concept behind not researching things? If you want to be a better seller, I would think research is probably the key, wouldn't it be? Maybe his version of research is different than my version of research. My version of research at a yard sale or at a retail establishment is looking it up real quick on eBay to make an assessment.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to make a list and come sit here and spend hours at a computer looking these things up. If I see one in the wild, if it's one of the booths, I'll look it up. If it's something different, I'll look it up. If not, I move on. I don't. You see a big bucket of the old ones, unless they're going to sell me the whole bucket for like $2 or $3 and I can run them to the auction, I'm not messing with them. But you're not wasting how much. You got to get that through your skull. If you're somewhere and the opportunity is there, there's a reason.
You're fine.
If you won't look up the price of things based on just scanning a simple barcode, you're never going to find stuff in an estate sale. You're never, if you don't have enough curiosity to look at something and go, I wonder what that's worth. And take this computer that you walk around with and take 2 seconds to look it up. Use the voice search. This is not hard. This is not time consuming. You're never going to be successful about this if you're going to be a general seller, an eBay seller. You can be a reseller and do wholesale and that kind of stuff. But if you're gonna do a lot of things I do and you're not curious enough to look it up, if you see the sweater machine and don't go, I wonder what the hell that's worth. That's just crazy enough that somebody wants it.
So without researching, even in a minimal amount of researching like we do at yard sales, how do you know what to buy? Now, obviously, you're going to buy things that you're familiar with, but when you want to buy something new, when you want to expand, how do you do that without knowing what's up? I've gone to a lot of yard sales and bought things that, hey, this will sell on eBay without looking them up, and guess what happens most of the time? Just because I like it, don't mean anybody else in the world likes it, and that happens a lot. And that's why I have a lot of things that donate to Goodwill.
And as we make especially as new resellers, you make a huge mistake is in your eyes when you're looking to what to look up and you see things what's the value to you. And that is a huge mistake. And it takes a little bit of time to get that out of your way, because what it means to you and what you value it at as a reseller has no bearing on whether you should buy it or not. It's do other people want it and what are they willing to pay for it? It may be worth 10 cents to me. But if it's worth $10 to somebody else, what difference does it make? The value to you is how cheap can I get it? What do I have to pay for it? That's what you need to be worried about. And what do I have to pay for it? Or what is somebody else willing to pay for it? Those are the two questions.
Scott, I got to get out of here. Somebody's got to get on the phone.
Somebody said, "Hey, Joni." Did Joni
still using dial-up, or
did Joni actually trip over her phone and find my chat? Find the show? I didn't think so.
It's been a while since Joni's been in.
She needs you to run get her some Starbucks. Anyway, I got to go. Thanks for having me in here.
Go in the kitchen and make her own Starbucks.
We'll see you later. Have a good
Tom's
day,
off
y'all.
for his piano lessons. See ya.
Yeah, stay dry if you're in the area where it's getting wet. Bye.
I've had Jacob list. He listed 125 remotes over the last 4 or 5 days. All those remotes mean nothing to me. I don't have machines to use for them, but we've sold like 14 remotes so far. Somebody needs them. I pick them up for a quarter, 50 cents. No, that
I've never paid more than $1 for a remote ever.
Yeah,
unless the only remote I'd pay more for is one of those Harmonies or something like that, or a Bose maybe.
Oh, you want to see one of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, where'd you go? I bought this at a yard sale this weekend. The guy goes, I was really looking to get $15 for it. I'm like, all right, $15.
What is that?
How many people would buy the
Harmony. Okay.
the Harmony remote for $15?
Now, not all of them are great. Not all Harmony remotes are created equal. That one I've never seen. I didn't even know that existed, but some of them but I guarantee I look every one of them up. I do my research.
Before I type this in there, would you buy this one at $15? Yes or no?
Well, if you bought it at $15, then yes. But
okay, good choice.
Without knowing anything about it, I don't know. I probably would have to look it up at a yard sale or a thrift store if I saw it. And then I'd probably still buy it at $15. With the IR, with the complete thing.
It does. It's got that too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's got the IR. Da-da-da.
It's crazy what things will go for. With a little bit of research, you can learn a lot of things. So I don't understand somebody. I guess they still got that in my brain. How can anybody say not to research? And I don't know the context of that. So hopefully he didn't mean not to research at all. But how can you learn anything without that? How do you know?
So Noel talked about a sealed TiVo. Sealed TiVos are fine, but you can buy used ones. I got one back here on the ground. Somebody want? I paid $10 for it. I ain't got it listed yet.
Can you even still use a TiVo?
Description's about to run out. It's lifetime. That one's got a lifetime subscription on it.
But what can you do with a TiVo anymore? I don't even know what a TiVo was used for. I never had one.
Records over the air programs. Yeah, people still use that one's got a lifetime subscription on it. Let's look up lifetime TiVo.
Kind of like the Bose, the Sirius radio I have, and yes, it still works. I haven't tried it in a while, but I'm sure it still works. I wonder what that's worth nowadays.
Depending on which one.
DVDs on Amazon are a rough game. If it's a very common DVD and there's a lot of sellers on it, eventually that price is going to tank. We did all the dollar store DVDs and made a lot of money, but also got stuck with a lot of inventory too. I still have inventory.
It's this one. Ta-da. It was March 20. I gave him 10. Full HD Premiere, but this one's got lifetime on it. Let's see what it's worth.
They don't make TiVos anymore, right?
I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, I never used one. Just hang on, Mark. Usually the price fluctuates enough that it comes back around. I quit buying any DVD that's $10 on Amazon.
This one, they had more than one. They've already sold at least one for $70 with $85 shipping. There's 75 with 30 shipping. That's the one I've got right here. Maybe I should. I've only had it for like a year and a half. You think I should list it today? All right, tune in next week to see if I sell this because I'm gonna list it today.
Kind of like your cameras. You only had them forever. Finally, but that's the thing. It doesn't sell if it just sits there because it's not listed. How many cameras have you sold since you started listing your cameras? We know of one.
Yeah, I think 10. I've sold a bunch of them. I sold 2 of them while I was still listening to the other ones.
Right. So that's, I mean, if you got death piles, people.
See, 2 Hip Chicks. So if you don't watch 2 Hip Chicks, the ladies are Todd and Mary are a lot of fun. They do a couple times a week live show at noon or 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock my time, noon their time. The tech is just, I mean, when I tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 6 laptops right there. There's 2 more in the drawer. There's another one laying there. I have a problem. So I decided, even though I have no idea what I was going to use it for, I'd probably just end up selling it. The guy who had that remote had this. It's an additional laptop screen. It's powered by USB-C. He had these little things he made to put on top of his. So he had 2 screens on a laptop. I just never. I'm like, you know what? I think I gave $10 for this. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty damn cool.
And then I bought that the USB-C things, these adapters for MacBooks. If you try, he was selling these like $2 a piece. If you've ever priced these things, oh my God, they're ridiculous. But they sell. I'll sell this one. I wonder what is. I bought this one without looking it up. I wonder what it's worth. Anybody see where I put my glasses?
Down on the desk. There. See, I found it for you. I can't help myself. When I see little tech thingies like that, I have to buy them. If they're cheap. I have, well, this bag here is full of little adapters and
I have to have
that isn't even half of what I got. That's not even half of what I got.
HSA Q001 PR.
But there's adapters for everything in that bag. I should never have to buy another one. I will, though.
So this is a USB-C mini dock for a HP computer. What's it worth?
$20.
All right, I see your $20. The last one just sold on August 8th. $29.99 plus 8 shipping.
Close.
It's crazy that little guy there, these docks are worth that kind of money. How many
similar ones?
How many people walked by this and didn't even bother looking it up, didn't know what it was worth, didn't have a MacBook to realize even the generic ones are $20.
I would have bought it just to add to my collection.
Johnny just used made banana pancakes. Oh well, since I don't eat carbs anymore. Yeah, good luck for me.
I will still eat carbs if it's something good, but I don't. So usually, we didn't get our pumpkin pie.
Did we go over this yet? All right, this is the last electronic. This one will kind of blow your mind. It's a Garmin. Look at this big old clunky Garmin.
That's different.
Look at it. It's big, fat, gets in your way. You got
to use like an old 35 millimeter camera is what it looks like.
Use a stupid antenna with it. How many people are even looking this up or buying this at a yard sale?
Is that the airplane one?
How many people are looking this up at a yard sale?
Well, me.
I gave him $40 for it. That should be a clue.
I think it's pretty huge.
It came with these mounts, these RAM mounts. He had 3 of them. If you know what RAM makes mounts for, then you know what this goes to. RAM makes mounts for small planes. This is a GPS map. This is a GPS map 495. It needed a battery. I put a new battery in it. It is currently listed on eBay for I had listed for $349. I think it's on sale for $299 right now. I'm the only one on eBay with one. It's got 7 watchers. It will sell.
I sold a pretty rare one. I found it at a yard sale. It's the most I ever paid for a garment. I think I paid $25 for it. But I got 250 for it. So there's some garments out there that are just big money, especially these specialized ones. That's for a small plane. If you find the kind for a semi truck, those things just sell.
I've talked about semi trucks before. Did you know they make garments just for RVs? They're very expensive because it allows you to put the height of the rig in and the dimensions of the rig, and it will route you around any roads where you know height's an issue. So Harlan just got back from the doctor. He no longer eats carbs. You've been living the life. Don't worry, we already been practicing on Saturdays, stopping at the gas station and eating the rollers with no buns. So we're good. Man, we stopped at one Friday. There was a new Mapco in town. Not only did they have the rollers going, but they had banana peppers, and Harlan was scared of jalapenos. And Texas Pete. Did y'all know a thing was they put chopped onions in a ketchup, like a ketchup packet? They were disgusting, by the way. I've seen sweet relish in the packets for hot dogs.
Yeah, I've never seen just onions.
This was chopped onions. They were awful.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want that.
But there's so much to learn out there. If you're not curious, if it doesn't go, if you don't look at it and go, I wonder what that is worth. You're just gonna keep leaving stuff for me and Noel because she's as bad as me. I'll stand there and look up everything at the estate sale I was the 9th person in line Sunday morning. All 9 of them people were long gone by the time I left. When I paid the second time or third time, I told her, I'm like, I think I'm the only one left who was waiting in line. She started laughing. She says, yeah, you've looked over a lot of stuff. She says, and she actually said, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to look through all this stuff and buying stuff. All right, Harlan, what was your A1C? You can keep me straight on listening stuff and motivated, and I can keep you straight on. That means no more your little chocolatey drinks either. What was that? What's the drink you like so much? Yeah, no comment. It's no carbs. All right. With that being said, Harlan's not going to tell us. So I'm going to go in and make some chaffles. You coming up for breakfast, Harlan? I'm making chaffles. They don't have any carbs, but I do have. I mean, look. I ain't even got this listed yet. I've had it for over a year.
Oh, no, that's a camera I like to find.
I mean, do you look up these things? I have an electronics problem. This is a Creative Zen. It's a Creative Zen. It was Microsoft's answer to the iPod. It was going to take over the world.
I thought Zune was the answer to the iPod.
Do you look up stuff like these and realize the retail? That's a good one to close on. I've got it listed. Where'd I put it?
By the way, there's a big collector's market out there for the Microsoft Zune. So if you find one of those at a yard sale, they're usually worth picking up.
Harlan said he's already had a biscuit. I hope it was a good one. I hope you went to Biscuit Express as your last day of of carbs. I have not had Biscuit Express all year. Damn it. I will
The
be
Canon 8. That. Go ahead.
on September 30th when the weekend we're in Bushwhacker. That we're in Cincinnati. I will be cheating to eat chili in Cincinnati. Don't judge me. But then I'll go right back to it.
The Canon 81. A lot of professional photographers, that was the first camera they owned because they took photography classes in college or whatever, and that's the camera that was suggested for them to start with, and that's why even today that thing has a huge market for collectors.
Free Bojangles at work. So the thing, people, best cam I've ever found. I've still got it at a yard sale. What's the best cam? You want to do a YouTube channel? You want to do this? Want to do that? Look up that one. I paid she made me pay $150 for it. Even if you saw this at a yard sale today, would you pay $150 for it?
Since you're telling us about it, yes, I would.
It's at RX 100 Mark 6. Look up the value of an RX 100 Mark. This will be the last thing I'll show you tonight. I really got to go eat breakfast and I got to go use the bathroom. RX 106. I'm going to filter this by souls just so you can.
Yeah.
Best camera ever found at the RSL.
I think my highest price for a camera is, well, I remember those 3D cameras with the 4 lenses on them. Those things always do well. I think I had a brand new sealed one and it sold for like $400. And then I had another camera that was a professional camera that I sold for $500.
Folks, it doesn't matter if they know what it's worth. It had make offer on it. I asked the lady, "What are you thinking?" She says, "I don't know." I'm like, "How about $100?" She goes, "Oh no, I know what that camera's worth. I couldn't take 100." I'm like, "Well, what do you think?" And she goes, "I'd have to have at least 150."
They almost never know what it's worth.
Okay,
and when they know what it's worth, it's either way less or way more than it's worth. It's never
okay. You have to have 150. All right, here's 150.
They think they know what it's worth.
All right, so I don't even hardly even use this camera. I should probably sell it, but all right. So the next short, I'm gonna start using this and see how it. My next, not the two that come out in the next, not the 2 shorts on the others, but the next video, I'm gonna try to record this, see what's up. Y'all, and I'll let you know in the video that I'm using this, and y'all tell me whether I should keep it or sell it.
Sell it.
Damn it.
You know my opinion. Do you need it? Sell it. That's how I would be. Unless it's better than the cameras you got, and then I would keep it. But it's worth what?
You don't need anything more than this. When I get the iPhone 15, you really don't need anything more than iPhone 15. When you add,
I'm on a 12, and look at how nice the quality of that is.
Baby steps, folks. I'm selling these cameras. Baby steps.
I think the consensus so far is sell it.
I mean, I found that one at an estate sale. Anybody giving $10 for that one?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Does it bring me joy?
Yeah. Does it bring you joy?
Yes, Beth, it brings me joy.
You know what brings me joy? Money.
I'm going to put it under my pillow tonight. Baby steps. All right, so it's hopefully you take some of this to heart and understand. Most of us in your control, folks. It is truly in your control. Is doing the same thing. I can tell you right now, doing the same thing over and over is going to. You go out like Sears, you go out like Kmart. Eventually, it runs down. You know, everybody talking about, "Oh, I've got slow sales. This stuff used to sell. This should." I'm telling you, if you don't pivot a little bit and change some of the things you do, eventually everything runs out.
Every time you say the word pivot, I can't stop thinking about that Seinfeld episode, or not Seinfeld, Friends episode where they're taking the couch up the stairs and Ross is yelling pivot. It's great. Pivot.
U-Haul, you have come to say goodbye to us. I've got to use the bathroom.
It's the only Friends episode I remember.
All right, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week. Check out.
Happy Halloween.
Remember, y'all promised to watch the shorts, so y'all watch the shorts.
I didn't promise shit. Sweetwater out.
Roll Tide.